There's one, and there's another. I've got two fish on a stringer. This is really survival because we're not going to eat until we get enough fish. Let me show you what I'm using. I'm simulating nature, okay? This is survival pan fishing. Alright, what I've got is a tiny little piece of rubber worm on a little tiny hook. Alright? No bobber, just a piece of long line and a tiny little piece of rubber worm on a hook, okay? You could use a piece of plastic, you could use whatever, just something to hang off that hook. Now, how I'm doing this is I'm simulating nature. Let me see if I can show you while I do this, because it's awkward to hold the camera. But what I've got, and you could use a piece of stick, it doesn't matter, you don't have to have a fishing pole for this. Now what I'm doing is I pick this up in the air, and I'm going to try to show you. Let me see if this is zoomed out. It's just going to be awkward. I'm swinging the pole out, alright? I'm swinging the line and letting it sink, okay? It's very hard to simulate this. I'll show you this on camera. Now what this simulates is the insect falling into the water. Right? And it's the action of it falling into the water that's going to catch your fish. Nothing else you're doing is going to catch fish. Oops, I had a bite. It's the action of an insect falling into the water is going to attract their attention. And then you let it sink to the bottom. And I've got a long piece of line out. The long stick would be great for this as well. Willow or something long and flexible. You don't want a fragile, dry, brittle stick. Obviously that won't work. Alright. Let me see if I can catch a fish while I'm showing you. That would be awesome. There's a little one. Oops. You saw it, I'm sure, right? I didn't want him. He was a baby. So I didn't set the hook. It's the idea of that thing hitting the water, and then move your line every once in a while to a different location. Alright? Let it settle down. Oops, I had one. See, this is if you've got to survive, you've got to emulate nature. And bugs fall off the trees into the water all the time. And those fish, they've got to be the first one to get it. Because for them it's survival too. So they've got to take it fast and hard in their mouth, or another fish will get it. And that's the idea of what I'm doing here. Just like a bug falling out of the tree. Of course, as is the way of things, I might not catch one while I'm recording. But I've got two. Over here. The thing is, I can see everything and they can see me, so that makes it harder. Alright, but what I've got is just a long bit of string out. It's almost like fly fishing. I'm sitting on the edge of the boat, the canoe, our survival canoe, because I couldn't reach out from the trees. It's really dense on our island. And you got to use what you have on hand. Anyway, and I was trying to do cast and retrieve, and it just wasn't working. There's too many weeds here. There's just too many weeds. There comes a big fish at me. Come on, take it. Take it, take it, take it. Come on, take it. Take it. Oh, nuts. It didn't swallow the hook. That one wasn't that hungry. Oh, I snagged a weed. There we go. Oh, he hit it, but he didn't swallow it. Come on, take it in. Oh, come on. I gotta put a little bit more line. The wind is moving me away from my prime spot. Alright, I'm gonna pause the camera and set it down, and I guarantee I'll catch a fish then. Alright guys, fish on. This is a big panfish. Beauty, it's a beauty. Oh, it's a beauty. Oh, that's a beauty. Look at that fish. Look at that beauty. That's some eating, guys. That's some good eating. Now, to take a panfish off the line without hurting yourself, because these things got spikes on their backside that'll go into your fingers and hurt really bad. So what you got to do is get your hook firmly in your hand. Alright, get your hook firmly in your hand. Take your hand and slide down his back, pressing the fins down as you go. Now the fins are retracted and cannot hurt me. And then pull that hook out. I gotta undo my stringer. Sorry, I'm trying to do this but holding it in my legs. I got another one. You caught a salamander. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah? Yeah, that'll catch you a bass. But we're not going to die of hunger today. One of the boys found some berries. He's out gathering berries. So we do have some food on this island. And then you put the fish on the stringer, if you have one available. In this case, it's a convenient thing that I have a stringer available. And that keeps them alive and fresh until you're ready to eat them. Keeps them really fresh. And they'll live. This isn't going to hurt them at all. Actually, you could let them go and they wouldn't be harmed at all after this. So, I've got 3 fish. 3 fish, it's one for each of us. But as long as I'm catching, I'm going to continue trying. Now I've let out my line a little bit more because the idea is you don't want the fish to see your tackle. It's stealth, so you don't want the fish to see your rod. They just got to see that thing falling into the water. See that? You want him to see that falling into the water. Now if this is real survival, I'd be keeping him. Right? If this was real survival, I would keep that. Okay, now he's gone. See, that's what I'm using right there. Just a little piece of rubber worm and a little hook. Nothing else. But like I said, these fish, they can see me. And you just want them to see that falling into the water. You want that competition to kick in. That instinct. Grab it before the other fish does. Survival of the fittest. That's instinct. Because once they get up close and they sense, they see your lure, they're not going to bite it.
Do I hook them like a worm?
Yeah. So it's just a matter of that, getting that instinct. Oops, I had one too. I let him go. I didn't see it. I didn't feel it. Setting the hook is important. When you feel the fish on, you let the line loose a little, and then you snag it lightly and jerk it a little. But if it's little fish, I pull it away from his face. I don't know if you can see the fish. I can't wait to see this on computer. I don't know if you can see the fish like I can. That was it. He just bumped it. See, sometimes the fish just bump the line, or bump the lure. So I guess like a shark would bump something they're about to eat before they bite it. Just testing it out. Alright guys, well that's survival fishing for panfish. Just using the basic gear. I could use a stick and a piece of string for this. That's the matter of that thing hitting the water that causes the fish to bite. Nothing else. Just getting that to hit the water and cause their instinct to kick in and bite. There you go guys, survival fishing.